family, and friends. We are not here to witness the start of Jason and Amanda's relationship, but to acknowledge and celebrate a lasting bond that already exists between them. And now I will address the gathering, the community. It's a word we hear often. What does it mean? A community can be defined in part by its ability to respond to a crisis. What is today's crisis? In the Chinese pictographic language, crisis and opportunity are the same character. So the crisis is change. The crisis is not changing. Right here, today, right now, these two, they're going to change. They're going to get married. Are you going to change with them? If Amanda calls you at night, no matter what the logic, what the diamond crystalline proof she has, for whatever motivations, will you here today answer that call? Because of blood? Because of friendship and loyalty? What side will you take? As they become one today, there is no more sides for you. That's over. You are now on the side of this marriage. When Jason calls you at night, with his logic, with his poetry, with his reason, with his motivation, will you fall prey to the old friendships? The old loyalties? You can't. Today you are changed, as they are changing before you. Jason and Amanda live by a different code. They're pirates. This is a pirate wedding. I am a pirate. What is a pirate's greatest treasure? Her ship. What is our ship? Our ship is the earth. Is there one pirate? That's not a pirate. Pirates are defined by other pirates. I'm going to ask you to say something. You will say, "We will." Will you all now advocate exclusively, independent of your history with each of these individual people? Will you now advocate for them as a married couple? Say, "We will."
We will.
And so you will, or you will be left on shore. Because the ocean of love that gives all life is merciless when weeding out the insincere. And when these two bond, they will be stronger than every single person here, and will be helpless without all of you together. And that is what community is. Think of it. Amanda and Jason. Look at me. Have you come here today with the intention to be legally joined in marriage? Do you pledge to choose respect, kindness, and compassion towards one another, to listen deeply to one another, and to speak to one another truthfully today and always? We do. A reading or some remarks by Blake.
I'm not sure that I have the right to say anything beyond anybody else here, but I feel compelled to because of the person standing to my left. When I first met him, it was about 15 years ago. His lovely sister Megan introduced me, and she said in a smoky bar called the Squirrel Cage, which I'm sure many here are all too familiar with, including myself. She said, "This is brother." And I said, "Oh, it's your brother. Nice to meet you." She said, "No, it's brother." And And I said, what? She said, it's brother. And she said, all right, look, when we were younger, we spent a lot of time together. A lot. And because of our closeness in age, people confuse us for boyfriend and girlfriend. A lot. So the remedy was, I called her sister, she called me brother. That was the logic. And so for 15 years, this has been brother, and it was cute. It was really cute at first. I love nicknames. Brother, adorable. But 15 years later, it's become a demonstrative. It's no longer a nickname for me, and I'm a single child. So when I call Jason brother, or when you see on Facebook that he's listed as my brother, I mean that Jason is my brother. And I feel that there are many here behind me that feel exactly the same. That it is not merely a cute nickname. It's truly a demonstrative. Now, when I met Amanda, you have to keep in mind, I've known Jason for a long time. So I've seen many different relationships come and go. He's been excited. He's gone through the typical Jason things, but not with Amanda. When he first uttered the word Amanda to me, I mean, I can't even describe to you what happened inside of me. Because when you love somebody like a brother, you want nothing for them but complete happiness. And in that moment that he mentioned her name, I saw it. And so I feel that I can honestly say that if Jason is my brother, there's no doubt in my heart that you are my sister. I know it's kind of weird because brother and sister, that's my brother. But I mean it with all of my heart in front of all of you people, that you are looking at a single child that now has a brother and a sister. And I think that everybody here feels the same way. I love you with all my heart.
And now, Erica Freiberger.
I didn't trust myself not to completely break down without a piece of paper in front of me. So. I met Jason 13 years ago in the stinky old Cater Bean coffee shop, and I was very pregnant with my first baby. And Jason was my surly yet charming barista, and our conversations were limited to, "Hi, how are you? And I'd like a cup of chai, please." But then one very cold spring evening, I said my usual, "Hi, how are you?" To which Jason leaned his pompadour over the counter, and he said, "Do you really want to know?" So the next thing I know, he and I were really talking. We were exchanging our stories, even the messy parts, maybe especially the messy parts. And I think we were both reassured by just how messy they really were. And he was 22 years old when I met him, and his world had just been turned upside down. And he was bravely putting one foot in front of the other, and he was trying to figure out what, if anything, really mattered. And meanwhile, I was a seemingly very pulled-together 31-year-old, with my life very much in order. But underneath it all, I was utterly terrified about becoming a mother. I just didn't want to mess it up. So from then on, whenever I'd go into his coffee shop, we would talk, and he became like family to me. And he was among the very first to hold my baby girl. And later, he became my Manny, and with his help, I regained some balance in my life. And I became less afraid of motherhood. And 2.5 years later, Jason came to the hospital to meet the little guy who would become his godson.
Hi, Gray.
And over the years, Jason got spit on. He changed diapers, had Nerf gun battles. He could name every one of Thomas the Tank Engines.
Still can.
And I'm fairly certain that my daughter, who is now almost 13, proposed to him at least twice.
Mike is 13.
She proposed before the age of 5. And my son latched on to the fact that Jason always had a notebook with him. And to this day, both of them still always do. And Jason and I had many long talks around my kitchen table about everything from relationships to college courses, to poetry slams, to the one constant I can say that through it all, the one constant was that he most definitely was never going to get married. There were a lot of changes that happened over the years, namely his hairstyles. But the one thing that was constant was about the never, ever getting married. Until the day he brought Amanda to my house. And I can tell you, I have never seen him look so comfortable in his own skin. I've never seen him so smitten and completely at ease. And actually, the only time I ever saw that lightness is when he was playing with my kids. And I saw it when he had his arms wrapped around you. So Amanda was this charismatic, incredibly authentic woman, and she won over everyone at my house at my Memorial Day party that year. And by now, all the middle-aged friends I have who've all watched Jason grow up along with me said, "Oh my gosh, who is that woman? And he better not let her go." So here we are, Jace. You figured out what really matters? And I'm so proud of you. And I love you both. And I could not be happier to celebrate this moment with you both.
Good work. And finally, Bruce Kieran, the father of the groom.
What's up, Dad? You guys all know him.
So for those of you who don't know, I'm Bruce. I'm Jason's dad. My wife, Linda, Jason's stepmom. Jason, I'm proud of you. We're proud of you. We're all proud. I think I can say for everybody here, we're all proud of both of you. Amanda, welcome to the...
Right on. So, this is the part of the ceremony where I charge to the couple. I tell you who you are, and I tell you what to do.
Yeah.
It's a pretty powerful thing to do. In 1972, the Pioneer spacecraft launched from Earth.
Yes.
And before it did, there was a husband and wife team, Carl Sagan and his wife Ann. This spacecraft was the first spacecraft to cross the asteroid belt, to reach Saturn. It was a space probe designed to go 1,000,000 miles from here. Nice day out, huh? See that sun? It takes 8 minutes for the light to get here on these two beautiful people. Where it is now, space probe, takes 16 hours going 671 million miles an hour. So Carl Sagan said, what about aliens? You gotta imagine how brave that is to say that at NASA. It's still kind of brave. So they made a plaque, him and his wife. They convinced NASA to put it on the side of the spacecraft, and his wife made a drawing of a man and a woman. The man waving, the woman at his side. So if the aliens found it, they would know that we don't look like spaceships. We lost contact with the space probe in January 2003, but it's still out there. Soon, it'll be passed by Voyager, and we'll see what's up. But I want you all to imagine something for a second. Today is a symbolic day where human beings, we deal in symbols, flowers, dresses, rings. What about these aliens? What if they don't deal in symbols? Cast your mind into an alien mind. No symbols, no metaphor, no poetry. They rip the side of the plaque off the spaceship and they come here. And they say, who are these two? Bring them to us. What are we going to say? Oh, no, it's a metaphor. It's a drawing. And they say, what's a drawing? Lasers. Lasers. They're going to kill us. It's going to be a bad scene when we have to explain that we have this symbolic language and we just like to reach out to you. But it's okay, though. You know why? Because we'll just lie. Because they don't know how to do that either. We're humans. Crafty. We'll lie and we'll say, oh, sure, yeah, those two. Let me make some calls. I know who I'm going to send. I'm going to send Jason and Amanda to save us from incineration. Just ask yourself this. Are there two people more qualified to represent the human race? I don't think so. So what I'm going to tell you is who you are. You're the side of a spaceship, floating through space, waiting to be met by an alien race. And what I'm going to charge you to do is to remain that way. Pretty good, huh? We will now have the exchange of vows. Amanda, you may go first. Oh boy.
Jason, I vow to knock your cane out from under you with my cane when we're 90. To always take a bite of whatever you're eating and to make you laugh until the lines in our faces are named after each other. Good, it's fine. I vow to quiet the noise in your head, put on armor, and fight next to you, not against you. To remember that we are children on a planet floating in space, and how lucky I am to be floating with you. To remember that this is not luck, that we made this happen, we worked for this and fought for this, and we'll have to continue to fight for this even when we fight each other. And when we do fight each other, I promise to see your face as a little boy before we learn. Before we learn to be angry and hurt and know that he is still inside of you speaking softly. I vow to love your light and dark, breathe life into you when you can't breathe, the way you did for me when I forgot how. To remind you of the things that bring you joy and love you even if those things change, as long as I can get to always have cats. I vow to love you so much in this life that in the future there will be textbooks on the anatomy of the brain that illustrate the neurons discovered in me that only ever fired for you. And there will be maps. There will be maps of the paths and the patterns they created, the peaks and the valleys and caves you carved, the forts you built inside me, and the secret passwords in my bones.
You're the poet, right? All right. You guys move forward a little. I'm like in the leaves. So good.
Because you said typewritten or on a scroll. So both. And as those stars are my bones, so too the trees are my lungs. The sun is my skin. The fauna is my body. My spirit, the flora, my essence is everyone here. Myself emerged as harmonies of all of our chords and our discords, and I resonate in the frequencies of our accumulated symphonies. And your music has all been very glorious. And when the notes of all of you are played through me, my heart beats in a rhythm that allows me to love. A rhythm that allows me to be loved. A rhythm that allows me to become a husband. For now, all of my stars, my trees, my spirit, and my skies are yours, Amanda. The mason to my skies. My wolf bowing outside my windowsill. The hurricane of my spirit, the moon of my forests, my trees, my sun, you are my breath, my bones, my stars. You are the rhythm my heart has practiced its every beat for. And for every beat left, it will beat only for you.
Since ancient times, the ring has been a symbol of the unbroken circle, with no beginning and no end. Love given freely has no giver and no receiver, for each is the giver and each is the receiver. A signal is only good as its receiver. May these rings always remind you of the freedom and the power of this commitment you make here today. Jason, repeat after me. Amanda, I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
As a sign of my vow.
As a sign of my vow.
To love, honor, and cherish you.
And cherish you.
Amanda, you may place the ring on this finger now. Amanda, repeat after me. Jason. I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
As a sign of my vow.
As a sign of my vow.
To love,
To love,
honor, and cherish you.
and cherish you.
By the power of the state of Pennsylvania, I now pronounce you married. You may kiss each other.